Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the final round of the International Sim Drivers Association GT3 World Challenge for 2022 for the autumn season. This is Misano, and a little bit of less of a turnout this time, but I'm sure the drivers that we have will give us the fight of their lives as usual. Don't worry at all, you have missed nothing from the on-track action. If anything, we've just saved you a bit of time with our ultra-widescreen technical issues, which are still going on, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, yes. But that's absolutely fine. We will make sure that we've got all of our... I don't understand why it's doing it. But good evening to Zieloni Andy and Aries. Good evening, my gents. And let me just get YouTube chat popped out so that I can always keep you on top. Most importantly, making sure that we're keeping track of you guys in the chat and the things that we in the com box are missing. Yes, unfortunately it does look a bit weird. It's absolutely fine. It's something we're looking at in the background. I think you've got it set to 16:9 and the canvas is set to 21:9, judging by the way that it's scaled. Oh yeah, but the aspect ratio is... That's really strange. Right, okay. I understand the issue. Unfortunately, I was going to say, not something that we're going to be able to work out tonight, but that's absolutely fine. We will make the most of the PlayStation 2 Effect Ultra Widescreen International Sim Drivers Association for the evening, and I am here for it. Good evening to Nicolas. I'm looking forward even more now to seeing the rest of this race, knowing that all of the cars are going to look like GT1 cars. Nonetheless, we run with the 84 of Tadic, who is the first to set a remotely representative lap time, matched by Krisnich in the number 3 BMW as well. So the BMWs finding their feet fastest in this grid of 16 cars. But what can the rest of the field do through the rest of this session? Plenty of time left for the drivers to get up to speed. Triple Eight, yeah, here. That's a decent one. We are going to try and fix it in a different fashion. So you will see a little bit of jiggery pokery going on the stream. But I will keep you abreast of what's going on with qualifying as it goes. Jonic has gone straight to the top with a 133.860, a mere 0.2 off the BMW duet that previously led with Carlos Stulic with the second place at the moment. So very much a couple of cars at the head of the field showing their dominance. Stulic has already been pushed back down, with Kevin Tudic running to the overall pole position, provisional pole position as always in this session. Tadic takes to the pits, and Krisnich goes mildly faster by a mere 0.03 of a second. I will check. If you mute me for a second, I can tell you why. Oh, man. You don't mind it. Apparently, Nicola doesn't mind it. And if they don't mind it, we don't mind it. But it's because you're using Streamlabs, because Streamlabs is awful. If anybody out there is using Streamlabs OBS, don't. This is one of the things that you get. But nonetheless, we have a qualifying session to commentate on, and it's just going to look even more epic with the stretched aspect ratio. Misano has never looked quite this wide and quite this much like a speedway circuit. The BMW M4 has never looked... Oh my goodness, it looks so round. The front looks so round, it's incredible. It looks so good. Oh. Nonetheless, the Hondas at the top of the timesheet again, but devilishly close is that 6.2 litre V8 in the front end of Mattia Mex's 886 Mercedes AMG GT3. Big opportunity for Mex here tonight if he can keep the car underneath him through the rest of this session and through the rest of the race. Second sector is where he's fastest. Unsurprising, that is where the twisty stuff is. Sector 3 with the enormous back straight and the continuous right-hand kinks through 11, 12 and 13 will keep the drivers on their toes during the race and really playing into the strengths of the NSX at the moment. Tadic is being interrupted at the moment by other drivers trying to complete their laps. There's a disqualification for the 15. Did you see that for a second? It looks like that may have been overruled by race control, but it looks as though... I think he may have been disqualified because when he tried to exit the pit on the first time of asking, he didn't have his limiter on. That's the kind of thing that you would get disqualified for. Thankfully, race control is on top of all of the penalties being handed out. So for something like this, it's unlikely. Oh, are we going for an onboard lap with Mercedes? 1 second, let me turn this up. Oh, it's very pretty sounding. Now this is where we go into Sector 3. That is one curve. Take a slight breath, then 2, then down 2 gears, in towards the apex, cut as much as you can into the hairpin. Very, very difficult part of the track, and trying to work out where you want to make those positions stick for your car is a very difficult ask. Let's take a lap on board with the currently second place 886 driver of Mattia Mex. Across the line he comes, down in towards turns 1 and 2 and 3 in fact. A right left right chicane with a frustrating amount of straight in between. You can just get out of a gear and then you're back into second or first depending on the car you're in. Down into Rio for turns 4 and 5, turn it into one double apex corner, then much like the circuit on the Riviera at the Algarve circuit, big kink left but no vertical change here, so a lot easier to get off the corner. Now into Quesia at turn 8. Use the camber on the road. Look for outside passes being made through his turn 8 corner. That is going to be a factor in the race. Now a double right-hander corner through 9 and 10. Use the right-hander the first to get your braking marker slowed for turn 10. Get the car straight and on throttle as quick as you possibly can for this really quick back straight. This is where we're going to see the NSXs be strongest. As we come back through turn 11 at Cavoni. Again, ignoring the curb on the right-hand side, down on the curb, goes wide as you dare to keep the car within track limits. This one will not count for Matty MX. And a quick kink to the right and an almost square left at turn 16 at Misano to complete the lap. Very complicated track this, very difficult to get it right reliably on each lap. But that is the challenge for all of our drivers tonight. Interestingly too, the NSX in the form of the 24 car holds the fastest Sector 1, the Mercedes holds the fastest Sector 2, and it's only Kevin Tudic that is fastest in the final sector. Lots and lots of invalid laps being thrown at the moment. Van Coyle is on a decent lap in the 55 car. This could mean big things for the Victoria's Secret Racing drivers. Although, is that going to be invalidated as well? No, that is still valid. The top 5 currently on invalid laps. Vigor Van Coyle goes to 7th position and will try again to push himself further up. Dan Minton in the 888 car, currently sitting in 12th. His next lap is going to be a quick one. He could well take himself up behind the 36 of Remco Langendijk in that 9th position. He comes to the line now, 5 minutes remaining. Plenty of time to get more laps in. Up behind Remco Langendijk does go the Brit Dan Minton, still trying to find more points in this championship. Excellent race. Excellent race at the Nürburgring to bring him to 1st and 3rd overall in the championship. But Tudic still trying to pressure Zoran Jonjic for the overall spot. If those two finish at the top of the timing screens tonight, your winner will be Mr. Zoran Jonjic, but he needs to finish 2nd. If Tudic pulls any more than that out on the incumbent leader, then it will be Tudic's championship to take. Now, Jonjic has been consistent. He hasn't been off the podium since the first round of the season. So there is a very real possibility that he can take this home even with a podium position. I thought that was the case. So 25 to 20 to 17. Ooh, big twitch for the Ferrari in front of Minton. Sorban and Kostic getting it very wrong through the left-hander at 6. That screaming 488 turbo, desperately trying to find some pace in the twisties here. It's a difficult task for the Ferrari. The speed is all on the upper end for that mid-engine supercar, and as skilled a pilot as Kostic is, it's going to be a difficult task to get any kind of position from that red machine. Zoran does have slightly more of a cushion than what I thought. I think it's slightly. If he stays on the podium, he's definitely got it. If he finishes off the podium, it's starting to become a bit difficult. Just need to do the maths. It's a 20-point difference. So, yeah. If he finishes 4th and Tutic wins, that is game over. There's nothing that he can do. At the moment, Jonic is doing as much as he can. The question is, will Stulic stay out of the way for his teammate to allow him to attack the BMWs in the race? Lots and lots of questions regarding team play tonight. Very interesting competition yet to be decided. And that is without looking at the rest of the rest of the leader table. We have from 5th to 10th in the series, separated by a mere 6 points. Matti Miksik with 48, D'Couza on 47, Carlos Stulic on 46, with that second place as well. He is going to score well tonight, I would suggest. Remco Langendijk also on 44, Igor Krisnic on 43, and he is going to be a formidable force tonight. And Dennis Bellato with 42. Plenty left to fight for in the driver standings tonight. With regards to the team standings, however, it's pretty much the Pirate Racing Dalmatia team have won the championship already. They only need to start this race to secure it. Victoria's Secret Racing fairly secure in that second position with only the one driver for the Baby Godzilla team, but still not out of the question is that Baby Godzilla team potentially making up enough points to take second. Very much on the Aston Martin boys to make it happen. Zoran Jonic demoted in the end to 6th position and will take no further part. The timer has ended. Can Minton go any higher? That will be it for the British driver. Burlas is still circulating and on a relevant lap. Just needs to keep it all together. Coming down through the final sector, not the easiest of things to do in the Audi. On throttle, this car absolutely loves to snap and balk at you. On the brakes now, and that is the end of the session. No more for Mr. Burlas. So, with the final round lined up, the Baby Godzilla Honda NSX will lead the cars away. What will happen over the rest of this 1 hour session, though, is anybody's guess. Kevin Tudic will lead the drivers away. Mattia Mex will start alongside in that devilish-sounding AMG Mercedes. Igor Krisnic will start from 3rd position. We'll send it with Senel Tadic in 4th. Complicated start for the teammates of Carlos Stulic and Zoran Jonic. What will they do come the start of the race, with Dennis Bellato hunting both of them down in the second of the Mercedes so far? Igor Van Coyle will start the 55, Victoria's Secret Racing from 8th. 9th will be the 36, and 10th will be D'Couza in the number 80 NSX. Dan Minton adding to the trio of Victoria's Secret racing cars, hoping to outscore the Baby Godzilla team this evening. Slobodan Kostic will start from 12th in the 51 Ferrari. Josip Berlas will start the 99 car from that 13th position, although that his pace is significantly quicker than what we are seeing from that lap. Ivan Masic will start the 25 car from 14th position. Isel Levy will start the 15 Ferrari from 15th position. Somewhat poetic there. David Dunster will start the Pirate Racing Academy number 4 car from 16th, and Mate Miksik in the 96 will start from 17th. That is the way that they will line up a interesting finale to this competition. As you can see, the drivers getting their tyre pressures set for the conditions. A balmy 20 degrees out in Misano. And as always, it is a great pleasure to say thank you very much to SimRacing Pro for sponsoring this season and this series. Please do enjoy this brief ad for their goods. That actually looks really good on 21:9 aspect ratio. I feel as though that looks even better. Anyway, thank you very much to SimRacing Pro for sponsoring this season, and we are away for the final time. Mandatory pit stop counters on the left-hand side. Pay attention to the tower. There's only so much that we in the Combox can keep an eye on. So please, please, if there is anything that you see that we are missing, give us a shout. And we will try and get to it. Love the aspect ratio. It looks, all these cars, this is proper GT racing. Why can't we have these ultra wide GT1 cars back? That's what we need. Look at how good that Pirate Racing NSX looks. Not to mention, those M4s look even more ugly. I mean, mean. Honestly, why did they do that? Such a silly decision. Look at the NSX behind it. Looks so much more heavy duty and quicker. No, there's nothing wrong with your eyes. We are just having technical issues. It's absolutely fine. We've decided that what we're going to do is switch to GT1 cars for this finale. And because Misano is so wide, it's not even going to affect how hard it is or easy it is to overtake. Not very much weaving going on. I'm surprised. There will be a lot of brake holding and warming brakes. Again, the brakes warm to get heat into the inside of the tire. But interesting to see a lack of weaving from the cars tonight. I would have imagined the track's not warm enough to be getting heat in. So, as the drivers will be asked pretty soon to line up side by side, BMW's getting very confused as to the start procedure. You would have thought, after doing this 7 times already, they would know what they're doing, but nonetheless, it's absolutely fine. It's a neat 2x2 arrangement. is how they will come around the final corner for the final time this season. We will wait for the segment to go green at the top of your screen. And we are go for the final round of the International Sim Drivers Association Autumn season in towards turn 1, and there's already accidents on the outside. Looks as though the tiniest bit of contact has pushed a couple of the Audis off to the outside, but otherwise very, very clean through turns 1, 2, and 3. Minton staying right on the inside to stay out of the way of everybody else, and now the 36 looking to make places up as the timing screens all go crazy for just a second. But we get the... Oh, it's a drive-through for Minton. Who was that went off in the background? Oh, that's a Ferrari of Kostic, I think. No, that's Levy. 15 Ferrari just went straight on at turn 8 and has lost positions. Minton still with that drive-through. That might be cancelled by race control, however, judging by the fact that the other ones disappeared. Okay, as the dust settles on the first couple of corners, it is Tutic that leads the way. Matty MX has retained that second position critically through the first lap. Krisnich in the first of the BMWs remains in third, but Stulic has taken Tadic for that. I've got sound of the cars. Yes? Fair question. Give me a second. Do we have audio from the cars? Okay. It's very difficult. I've got like 3 sets of audio, so it's difficult for me to hear. Nonetheless, Tadic has been deposed by Carlos Stulic in the 233 NSX. Critical pass being made for Stulic, but can Jonic make that pass as well to get past the BMW? This is where it's going to always. Krisnich gets it wrong on the outside. Yes, yeah, that's what I was expecting, but I saw the other drive-through got cancelled. Either that or it was served very quickly. But yes, a bit of a nightmare for Ez Van Coily. That's looks as though he's the one that was had to do the drive-through. So perhaps, yes, it was served at the end of the first lap. That's where we are now. No, it has been cancelled within the first lap, so Minton's not in the pits. So Minton's penalty has been... Wait, no, I don't see him. Where's he gone? Has Minton retired? I see no 888 car. Yeah, Minton has retired. That's really unfortunate for the 888 car then. And that is a full quit out. Tom, is everything all right on Dan's end? It would be very uncharacteristic of him to quit out of any of these races, let alone one as important as this. Speaking of importance, Jonic cannot find a way past the 84 BMW at the moment. They may be the fastest in a straight line, but those BMWs, they are a little bit too pacey through the squirrely stuff. Just watching and keeping an eye. D'Couza is tucked up underneath the Ferrari of Kostic. This could be a position change, but not at the moment. It would be a brave move under braking to get the NSX pass now. But Kostic is up behind Mixtic as well. So Slobodan having to do the very hardest of work, which is attack and defend. The NSX is looking quick. And the Ferrari is having to do everything it can to keep the Honda behind. Now on to lap 3, and it was just a look to the inside for the NSX. It's going to take more than that to put off the Ferrari driver.
This is the race control, now investigating incident between cars 99 and 25 during the race start.
So an incident between the 99 and the 50. Now, that is not. 99 car is no longer in it. 55 car, however, is. So what happened there? At the race start, so the 99 car was... What's happened? I think that's the two Audis. The 55 car is... Oh, that was, no, 99 and 25. I was either mishearing. We are in ultra-wide to throw us back to the PlayStation 1 eras and make us all feel as though we're driving GT1 cars because GT1 is way better than GT3. That's no problem. So, to try and fix the technical issues that we've been having, we're just trying to restart the stream. The link may change. We may have to change this halfway through. So if we don't come back in just a few seconds, please go to the ISDA Racing channel and click on the new live link that will have been created. Just the way that technical issues are, we obviously want the highest fidelity for everybody to appreciate, as the NSX has attempted the pass but couldn't make it stick in the end. We will be back very shortly with you. This is the race control speaking. Go on.
Oh, this is the race control. Okay, this is the race control. Drive-through penalty for car 99 for causing collision. Now investigating incident between cars 15 and 55, lap 1, turn 8.
There we go. So, Yes, we are here. We are here. It's absolutely fine. I haven't gone anywhere. I did use the very brief downtime to go and get a drink, so that we don't lose any more voices throughout the rest of the race. But there we go. We are back. We are in a correct format. Unfortunately, we have no more wonderful GT1 cars. Honestly, I genuinely wish that we could go back to those DTM cars of a few years ago, where they were just like the normal cars, but just squished. Because all I want to see is a squished and widened version of the Bentley GT3 Continental. Yes, it's the software. You are using the wrong software. That's the problem. I can tell you that one for free. The Work 190 and the BMW 3 Series. No, not that far back. I mean, the BMW 3 Series, it was, yes. But were they C1, I think they were? I think they were. They'll see whatever they ran in the old DTM cars from a few years ago. No, he's not using pirate software. There's no pirating going on here. Speaking of pirating, though, D'Couza looks as though he's about to pirate that position off of Kostic on track. Ferrari still has the position in 8th at the moment, but the Honda is looking ever closer as they come in towards the final sector. That's what it is. The Ferrari's used up all his tyres, and it's a big dive towards the inside for the NSX. Kostic gives him space, and that will be the position made for the NSX, and D'Couza makes it to 8th position for the Modulo Drogo Corsa team. The rest of the field, unfortunately, has spread out quite a bit. But it's not over for the Ferrari yet, as the Porsche of Matti Miksic, who has driven from the back of the field to 10th at the moment, is doing everything he can to score points for the Pirate Racing Academy team. More critically, however, and I do mean this in the most sincere fashion, Zoran Jonjic in the 24 NSX is falling away at a rate of knots from the leading trio of Senel Tadic, Carlos Dulic, and Kevin Tudic. The question is, why have we lost so many drivers? So D'Couza has been struggling with VR issues. That's absolutely fine. The FIA would give Kevin a stop go. No. The FIA would throw out a safety car 10 laps from the end, and then let everybody unlap themselves a lap from the end, and then say, final lap, do or die. I'm not bitter, you are. But that 24 car is falling away back into the grips of Matti MX. Yeah, 13 cars on track. We have lost quite a few. There's no messages in the Discord. There have been a couple of penalties that have been handed out, but the problem is that if people have quit in response to being given penalties, those penalties will carry over into next season. I am not kidding. ISDA is very serious about their driving standards, and if you have been given a penalty, they will remember. ISDA remembers. is the point. It would be, we've had some very suspect quits if that is what has happened, because it's not in the character of people like Dan Minton to quit out of a live race. We have seen lots and lots of altercations with him, but he has always taken the penalty and learnt, if appropriate, so I fear there may be other technical gremlins afoot in the world of Assetto Corsa Competizione. Notable to remember that there has been a rather large patch in the past couple of days, so perhaps technical issues are the cause of the concerns. But Matty MX now is starting to fall prey to Remco Langendijk in the 36 Aston Martin. The only opportunity that the sole remaining opportunity for Victoria's Secret Racing to keep their second position in the team's championship rests on Remco at the moment. If he could get up behind and past Matty MX, that would do their claim to that second position absolutely no harm whatsoever. Where are the points? Points. For 6th, that gives him 10 points. So yes, it would at the moment put him out of reach of the sole Baby Godzilla team car. But he needs to be very careful. Very, very careful indeed to not lose out to Bellato behind as well, because that could very much put him in danger. He only needs to score 5 points. But there is also the consideration of fastest lap. Remco has been listening to me clearly. He's going for the dive into turn 8. I did say that we could look to the outside for overtakes. The position isn't made yet, but the Mercedes will give best. Ooh, that was very close to being a touch for Mex there. The 886 now beginning to fall away, compromised onto the back straight, and could well lose out that 6th position to Dennis Bellato as well if Bellato decides that he wants to push the button. Ever so slightly thrown off by having the car in front, and will drop back. Now Matty MX has to try as hard as he can to reclaim that 6th position. Ooh. Replay of... Is this the Porsche getting past the Ferrari? Oh, that was a big slide. That was an enormous slide from the 96. Big touch on to the 51. Can't really call that a punt because it was side-on-side contact technically. But I think that 96 Porsche wasn't in control for a very, very long time before the altercation actually happened. And the cars remain as they were. Where's Bellato gone? Oh no, Bellato. Oh, Mex has fallen behind Bellato now. I was looking down, and the pass has been made for that 6th position as well. So Remco Langendijk really doing all the work he needs to do to keep the Victoria's Secret Racing team in that second position now. But nothing. Jonic for championship. Come on, let's go. Well, not at the moment, Aries. Not at the moment. Feel free to question my maths here. But Mr. Jonic is on 126 points. Kevin Tudic is on 105 points. Which leaves a 19-point difference. I have a cold, so feel free to argue my maths here. I'm just going to do this the sensible way. 126 minus 105. 21 points, there we go. It's not over yet. Not by a long shot. So 21 points. With Tutic winning, he would still need to finish in the top 10. There we go. It's not over yet. Jonic was falling away, has been falling away from the 84 BMW. No, calculations are fine. I did confirm. There's a 21-point difference. And on countback, Kevin Tutic has more wins than Jonic does. So, with 25 points being given to the winner, that would be 130 points, so he does still need to score 5 points. Which again, top 10.
This is the race control. Incident between cars 15 and 55, lap 1, turn 8, will be dealt with after the race. Now investigating incident between cars 15 and 55, lap 3, turn 10.
So the 55 car has absolutely been in the wars. Yeah, top 7, correct, yeah. But the pace hasn't been there this evening. Is he doing all right? As far as the stream, like his stream is concerned, that was very nearly an accidental punt by the 886 under braking. I'm making you nervous. I'm not even doing anything. I am saying it as it is. 24 car leads. No. Top. I think it's top 9. I think it's top 10. He needs to finish in. As it stands. Top 8. Top 9. Top 8. One of the two. If so, he's there at the moment. He's there at the moment. Tutic has the fastest lap. If someone can take that point off him, then it makes it a lot easier. But every point makes a difference here. And Jonic at the moment is falling back away from the leading pack. The BMW of Tadic is one of the first cars into the pits. So once again, dice being rolled. Undercuts, overcuts, we don't talk about those here. This is all about operating within the pit window. And everybody here so far, Tadic is down and rolling, and he has what can only be described as half a lap of entirely clear air. The next driver... he's in safe mode. I see. That's absolutely fine then. No, I was worrying that the performance wasn't there in the car tonight. If he's taken a measured response, then that's absolutely fine. Bellato with a stop-go 30 for speeding in the pit lane, that should get changed to a drive-through. for the 14 Mercedes, but that's going to push Bellato out of the fight between himself and Mattia Mex, with Mex then being promoted to an overall 5th position. Once again, very, very complicated position in the race now. Two stitches in the pits. And Jonic, if he is going to make any hay, and if the sun is going to shine on him at all tonight, it is going to be now, as he has the lead of the race and the good 12 seconds or so back to in front to the next car. Yeah, the top guys, there is an element of it's the final round, so give it all or nothing at all. But there's something about that BMW tonight. I don't know what's going on with the 84 car, but it has gained a significant amount of speed and is going very, very quickly at the moment. Jonic is going to run for another lap, as Mixic in the 96 car is going to try once again to get past the Ferrari. I don't know what's going on with the BMW. This shouldn't be a BMW track as far as I know. The NSX being quick here, unsurprising. The Mercedes being quick here, relatively unsurprising. Everything that I've been told, everything that I know of the BOP on the M4 says that this should be a track where it's not that it struggles, it's just that it's not the fastest, if that makes sense. So to see Tadic currently circulating in 3rd come 4th.
This is the race control. 10 seconds time penalty for car 55 for causing a collision. Now investigating incident between cars 51 and 96, lap 13, turn 14.
That's going to be... I waited until the race director disappeared. That's going to be a pretty slam dunk penalty, I would suggest, for the 96. I can't see that being made any other way. Not obviously, absolutely not on purpose. Absolutely the 96 just didn't have control of the car. Into the pits comes the race leader, Zoran Jonic. In his own words, taking it easy tonight, bringing it home, making sure he doesn't need to win, he doesn't even need to get on the podium, as the 96 car overtakes cleanly this time on the 51 at the same point where they had the altercation before. 51 into the pits. Now I think that we may see an increase in pace from Kostic here. That there is no way that hit on the rear quarter has not done some damage to the Ferrari. And now the 96 will circulate. I wonder if... Just doing some maths, I think Matty Mixic is trying to stay out of the pits as long as possible to give him an opportunity to serve whatever penalty might come from his altercation with Kostic there. Drive through for Bellato in the 14. That may well be mandated by the sim. And another rage. It's an interesting race tonight. Lots of quitting when penalties are being apportioned. I do hope... Ares, it's a pleasure. It has been a pleasure from the very beginning. I love having people in chat to speak to. I love having your guys' opinions to bounce off and to work with. You've made my job somewhat easier, and hopefully it encourages more people to the interaction that we can have has given other people a reason to watch live as opposed to watching on demand. Your insights have been critical at times. Oh, as the 25 gets it very wrong, that's going to be a little bit of damage for the 25 Audi? Yeah, Audi. But yes, it's absolutely fine. Thank you very much for all of your time watching and all of your going backwards and forwards between us and Science Streams. If we don't speak to you again, hopefully see you next season. It'd be great to have you back. As I think the safety car has retired. Fascinating. So as the Ivan is just writing something to stop area spam. It's fine. If we get spam, it's not a problem. As long as it's not bots, I will take any and all comments that you guys have for me. It makes life, it gives us something to talk about. I do miss the older forms of GT racing, the old GT era that is now coming to an end. The GT1s from way back when, and even the GT2 cars that are now basically running as demonstration races as opposed to a competitive season. It's not I don't like the way that GT3 has become all dominating, hence you can understand my excitement when the conversation around having a premium package to increase the speeds of these GT3 cars to around GTE speeds for Le Mans and the like excites me no end.
This is the race control. Drive-through penalty for car number 96 for causing a collision.
So in the end, it didn't matter whether Matty pitted or not. It is a drive-through that will be awarded to him. I can't say it's unjust, but I think that may be from the amount of damage received on the pass of the 51 as well that has led to that drive-through. That is going to secure Kostich's position in 9th overall. Oh, Andrew, it's good to see you in the chat, my friend. We are very much missing you tonight. Have experience with Red Bull ring driving the Cayman GT4. Not in real life. I look for oversteer at turn 1, 2, 3, 4, the downhill right-hander. What has Mr. Andrew Brooker missed? We have just had the entirety of the pit window run through. We've had incidents and accidents throughout the field. A particularly uncharacteristic move for the 99 to push the 25 Audi towards the wall on the entrance to turn 1. We've had, as you can probably see, several disconnections, a few of them at receipt of a penalty, which is, again, very uncharacteristic and I'm sure will be looked into after the race for these drivers. ISDA are not afraid to give penalties between seasons, especially if it is due. Andrew, we always miss you. I was genuinely disheartened to see that you hadn't said anything at the start of the race. Yeah, we've had quite a few disconnects. Yeah. Oh. I'm on top of those as well. So yes, there's been a very ISDA-like race, I've got to say. When you bear in mind how often we have enormous fields of cars. Either that or this Misano track is just not a popular one, which is also understandable. Drive-through is being served now for Mr. Mixic, as Igor Van Coyle has also got that 10-second penalty to serve. That means that Kostic only has to pull up 3.4 seconds to get to that 8th position, as we sit with Matty Mixic through the entirety of his penalty, begging, waiting for that line. There is where he can go. And the Pirate Racing team will top and tail the timing screens. Not quite. But Mixic is now significantly closer to that 12th positioned 25 Audi, which... I hear you. I said it was an uncharacteristic race, and we've had technical issues already tonight. It is very possible that the ACC servers went offline for a while, and it could be that has kicked out several of our drivers. So, I did say it was uncharacteristic for us to lose so many. But I feel somewhat justified in that assumption now, as it is technical issues that have brought around a quarter of the field to not be able to go any further than they have. And the field that has been left is unfortunately fairly spread out. Mattia Mex in 7th position is still trying to find some pace on D'Couza, who does have a drive-through. Yeah, exactly, Ivan. So the number 80 will fulfill its drive-through. Mex will be promoted to 6th position. Did we just lose? We just lost another one as well. This is going to be... This would explain the low turnout numbers as well, but it's odd. It's really strange that... It's really strange that we've had no comments in the Discord. Really very odd. And we're now approaching halfway of disconnects. Do we have policies? I'm asking the man who would know, because he had a large part in making the regulations. Do we have any regulations in place for if there is mass disconnects? Is there a possibility that having run all of this, the result might not stand? I thought so. So there is Ivan's in chat saying next week replay. Yes, I take it they couldn't hear you. So just for clarification, there are measures in place for these kinds of disconnects, and we are very much approaching the limit of where those regulations would be triggered. There could be a possibility of rerunning this race simply because of the technical issues induced by Assetto Corsa. Obviously, this is sim racing, so there are always technical issues, but it does seem as though it has been worse than normal. Mr. Brooker, are you still there? Because I was in the middle of catching you up on what has happened in between disconnects that we now have found out that are not the fault of the drivers and not the actions of the drivers either. What was relatively slim field has been slimmed down even more. But I am genuinely shocked to see that Stulich has been disconnected. Okay. Yeah, we are. Burra, decent race up until that random DC. Put it in the Discord, my guys. If you are watching the live stream now, please, please throw it in the Discord and make sure that it is known that you were disconnected. We want everybody to be represented fairly here. And if it is an issue that has been affecting the rest of the field, we need to make sure that everybody is given their due. So yeah, so as for the race, there was a very weird point in the race where several of the cars disconnected lap after lap. And it was several times that it was peculiar timing, and I was anticipating that there would be penalties that would be carried over to the next season because of quitting whilst they have a penalty, as Mixit gets it wrong. That's a weird place to get it wrong. So we go straight to replay. Gets over the curb on the inside on that. Oh, he gets on the sausage curb on the outside. Burra, there. It's been a constant thing tonight. Put it this way. I highly doubt that it was your internet, because Dan Minton, who is, well, as you probably know, is the man who will always drive from start to finish, was one of the drivers who was disconnected. I said that it was really uncharacteristic of him to disconnect or rage quit or anything like that. I think I've only ever witnessed him quit a race once, and that was because he considered himself a danger on the track, I think. So, very, very uncharacteristic. And I think that there might be an investigation at the end of this race. So, if you aren't already, get in the ISDA Discord and pay attention to any announcements that we have after the race. because this might not be over. It could be Steam update, yeah. I made sure that I did all of mine before the session. So yeah, as Brooker said as well, never expect Dan to rage quit. He has been passionate since the very start of ISDA, and to defend his third place, I think that he would have stuck with whatever he get. But yeah, so we have a slimmed down field down to the top 10. Marsic is the last of those. The 51 of Kostic is suddenly up to 6th position, having had the 80 car have to run a drive-through penalty, and he is closing in a big way to the 55 car of Igor Van Coyle as well. Not on track, let it be known. But all he needs to do is get within 10 seconds in the next 11 minutes and 49 seconds. Also, while we're talking hardware, who's looked at that? It's a curse. Yeah, that sounds right. You can't even blame me for that one. I didn't say a word. But what does everybody think of the new Thrustmaster direct drive wheel? Everyone's going direct drive. Ooh, interesting. Decouz are up behind the Ferrari again. Now, we've seen these two do battle already. Not quite as unsuccessfully as the Porsche did. But the muted sounds of the NSX compared to the screaming Ferrari, I'm sure Kostic is praying that the Honda will leave him alone for a few laps. As he's down under 11 seconds, this is very much doable. The NSX is going to have to push really hard. There will be space left if the NSX wanted to make the dive through turn 8, but it's not going to happen. There's a big amount of oversteer on the outside on the NSX as well. I wonder if is there a camera view where we can see the inputs of the NSX as well? Because I think that would be interesting to watch, especially in this final sector where the Porsche got it very wrong before. Yeah, it's fine. That's fine. Yes, I totally agree with you, Andrew. Ooh, big wiggle from both cars. Very much pushing the limits of their tyres, I would suggest. But both still sitting around that 11 seconds. They're even though these two are battling, they are making inroads into that 10-second gap on Van Coyle. Yes, Andrew, I totally agree. I have seen more than enough Thrustmaster T300s, T500s, T150s to come through the workshop where I used to work to never want to see their attempt at a direct drive wheel ever again. And as you say, the True Force work that Logitech have been putting in recently to try and artificially increase the immersion, they have clearly been working on. As the NSX has a quick look to the inside, but the Ferrari's running his pace. The 51 car will not be pressured, even though it's carrying damage. I just saw. Runs right to the outside. Really good momentum kept there from Kostic. But yes, if you're considering the Thrustmaster wheel at $700 versus the Logitech wheel at $1,000, I dare say that the Logitech does make ever so slightly more sense. It is a more fully featured wheel as far as I can see. Bigger, yes. But I've got to be honest, the new Assetto wheels are far, far more interesting to me. I have lots of questions regarding those. Ooh, beautiful perspective through turn 1 there. As the Ferrari got a lovely bit of oversteer across the apex. NSX is going to go to the inside again, but can't make anything happen at the moment. Really clean battle. As always, no suicide dives. D'Couza and Kostic, 2 veterans of the series. We know exactly what they can do. So I expect nothing but clean racing from both of them. I'm surprised the 80 car hasn't tried a different line just to try and give a different momentum. Oh, as they come through turn 10 now. The 80 had to take evasive action. That's going to drop him back a couple of meters, but now he's going to have the throttle down earlier than the Ferrari and is going to be able to carry all of that speed all the way down this back straight through 11 and 12. On the brakes into 13. Can't make it happen there. It's going to need to be elsewhere that he makes the position. But D'Couza finally starting to think outside the box, trying to take different lines, trying to make something happen. Has a look to the inside in towards the final turn. Now both of these two will be suffering for tyre wear, the NSX even more so. Now they're starting to fall away from the 55 car. And with 5 minutes remaining, it's going to be at least 0.2 of a second per lap that they're going to need to make up. And they are about... They're 0.2 slower at the moment. But I think that's the 25 in front. Yeah. 25 Audi in front of this battle now. So, how will the Audi deal with the 2 chasing cars trying to put him a lap down? The Ferrari will be thankful for the aerodynamic drag. That little bit of straight line speed will make keeping the NSX behind a little bit easier. As the gap goes out ever so slightly. Big bobble over the inside curb. I would not want to be a passenger in that 488 cockpit at the moment. False start as well. It does look as though the Ferrari's a little bit more on its toes than the NSX. Just slightly more balanced. Both of them are struggling with tyre wear. But the Ferrari just looks a little bit more poised, able to run across the curb on the inside. This is the perspective that we want. Look at that rear view camera. Absolutely terrifying perspective. Just watch Kostic's movements on the wheel. That quick flick from right to left. He is pushing on Tadic. Finally, either the NSX has come to life, or Jonic has decided he's had enough of looking at the back of a BMW, which again, I don't blame him. Not at all. We will come to that if it comes to blows. But for the moment, this battle rages on. Ferrari with the throttle pinned. Look at it. Here we go. This is going to be a really interesting perspective now. We've just seen how confident and smooth the inputs have been through the Ferrari. Now let's have a look at the Honda. A little bit more twitchy there. Doesn't look quite as confident on the car. Now there will be, oh, it's a big kick of oversteer for the Ferrari. Side by side they'll come across the line, and this could be the NSX's opportunity. Can the Ferrari defend to the inside? Side by side they'll come through turns 1. The NSX has the inside for turn 2, but then it comes back towards the Ferrari for turn 3, and it will retain the place. But there will be damage to those rear tyres. The Kostic is going to have to do some kind of work to recover. It's not over yet as the NSX gets the cutback, but he's getting it in all the wrong places. Ferrari will keep the position as Jonic now has closed to the bumper of the BMW. This has not taken very long for Jonic to make his way onto the back of the BMW. He really was playing it safe, and suddenly in the closing minutes of the race he's only got 1 lap, 2 laps to go. But second position is not out of the question for the 24 car driver. Through turns 1 and 2 they come. Look at how confident Jonic is this time compared to the 80 of D'Couza that we were looking at before. Tiny, tiny, tiny movements. By comparison, big correction for D'Couza there. Where you don't want to be correcting, he's braving the sausage curbs on the inside into the final corner. But no such luck for the Honda this time by the start-finish line. Oh, the Ferrari didn't quite get the drive there, and then the NSX makes a dive this time. But this is what I was talking about, alternative lines. Ferrari was out very, very wide, but another kick of oversteer for the Ferrari. But he's got the drive again, and up underneath the slipstream, can get alongside up into turn 8. I said that we would see action here. It has been the overtaking spot, and around the outside, the NSX tries to defend, gets over onto the curbs, but is still there. Still on the rear quarter of the Ferrari. That was abused by the Porsche previously in the race, but now they come out onto the back straight for the second to last time. No, final time I think it might be. I'm pretty sure the leader is ahead of these two. No, they're not. So these guys have got one more time around to make this happen. The NSX has got the lead in this battle at the moment, and it was oversteer from the Ferrari that gave him the opportunity. But it looks as though the NSX has just got the measure of the Ferrari. Let's have a look at the battle over second position. As they come down to Cavone at 11 for the final time, the NSX has got the best opportunity he's going to have. Coming down towards 12 and 13 on the brakes, the BMW is going to be stronger. But the NSX takes a different line at turn 14 at Caro, tries to get the throttle down earlier, will come back to underneath the shadow of the BMW. In the background, Kevin Tudic will win the race, but it is the 24 that will come across the line regardless of which position he finishes here, regardless of where it all goes in the end. Zoran Jonic wins the International Sim Drivers Association Autumn 2022 Challenge, GT3 Challenge, and does it in epic style, closing up to the back of the BMW in mere seconds. Donuts on the outside for the Pirate Racing Academy Porsches, and the sole remaining battle yet to be found yet to be resolved. It looks as though, unless it's a mistake from the NSX in this final corner, that will be all she wrote, I think. The NSX fought hard and will take home that 6th position. But look at how many disconnections we had. What a difficult race. Mattia Mex disconnected, Bellato disconnected, Krishnic disconnected, was running in 2nd for so much of the race. Minton in the 888 car disconnected, Burlas in the 99 disconnected, the safety car disconnected twice, it seems, and Levy disconnected in the end. We were so close to needing to call the 50% rule, but that was everything that was needed in the end. While we wait for the drivers to get their nerves settled, and perhaps a bit of a drink in them, thank you very much for Sim Racing Pro for sponsoring this series and this season. We'll have a very quick sponsor show once again from them, and then we will be back with the driver interviews for the final round of this autumn season. So, a challenging race from start to finish. We don't even know how many drivers weren't able to join the race because of the issues with the servers. But it was a calm defense of 1st position for Kevin Tutic, and one of the victims of tonight, Igor Krishnic, in the number 3 car that was so strong. Very, very dominant dive to the inside for Stulic. Put the 2233 car in the podium position. But yet another would-be victim of the disconnection issues that we had tonight. Really good racing as always. But I do think that it looks better in the widescreen that we had before. And this was the 15 of Levy, trying to stay out of the way of the 15. The 15 of Levy trying to fight with the 55 car. The 55 car would end up with a penalty for that. After so much work, first into the box. First into the com box, we have Mr. Malibacho. Mr. Kostic, I understand that you were struggling with driving the Ferrari tonight, but how much did you know of the other drivers having issues with connections?
No, I don't know what happened. If you're talking about the start.
No. Through the course of the race, there were several disconnections, and there is a possibility that it was ACC's fault, basically.
Oh, really? No,
yeah.
I'm not aware. I did not experience any issues. I saw in the in our text chats that people were reporting stutters. I think it was the Kuza with VR, and yeah, I did not experience any hiccup tonight.
No, absolutely. But it was a busy race for yourself. in the end losing out to Dakusa in the 80 car. But it looked as though the car had damage. Did you not get the damage fixed in your pit stop for when Matti had an altercation with you?
Yeah, first of all, I was sorry about that crash. Instantly, I thought it was my fault because I went off track, and then as I was rejoining, I was a bit slower. But then I watched the replay, and I saw that Mate had an understeer. Shame about the collision. I got some 10 seconds of damage, and then I kind of thought that I would not be able to regain 10 seconds throughout the race if I stood 10 seconds more in the pits. So the car felt pretty much all right. There was damage visible, but I would see that. Well, my thought was that it would not pay off to fix it. So I was apologizing to Mate before I saw the replay, and now that I saw the replay, I retract my apologies.
It's still
just kidding. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
It's fair and square racing, and also to move on to the Kusa. I mean, I'm sad that I lost the position, but I'm happy that I lost the position to him because I love this guy. We know each other for quite a while, and I know that there would be no lunges from him, that he would be aggressive, but as much as one can be and one should be. So great fight with the Kusa, and it's a shame that because of the fight, we missed out on Igor's penalty. Yeah, by a thread. I mean, I was watching my gaps on the race control app. It was like 10.6, 10.8, 10.6, and then the Kusa caught up, and I knew as soon as he caught up, it's gone. We cannot get it.
No, of course.
Yeah.
But the exciting part was that you had the race, and as how hard was that Ferrari to keep in a straight line come the end of the race?
No, it was fine. I mean, the rear got a bit more lively because of the damage, but hey, that's how Ferrari should handle in the end. So,
okay.
It's like that kind of damage that gives you more boost. I would say.
Yeah. No, it's that old suspension damage that makes the car handle better. But no, it's as I say, unfortunately you lost out in that position, but a great race, and you basically dominated the last 20 minutes or so of the race.
Thank you, and thanks to the Kusa for enabling me to create. That we created such a highlight together.
Yeah, it was such a good race. And even though we had all of the technical issues going on in the background, it really was good to see that the race was still going off without too much of a hitch. But we do have a champion to speak to. So
yes,
it's all right
please
with yourself.
Make him sing.
Hang
please.
on, I'm just going to drag him in so that Zoran knows that this isn't a request coming from me. Mr. Bacho, you have a request for Mr. Jonic.
And maybe I could sing with him together.
Which one?
I know only one song.
Which one?
Zoran je moj idol.
Zoran pije alcohol.
Yes.
It will be total dissing here on Discord.
It's fine. So. It's fine. You're allowed. I'm
okay.
It's the end of the season.
I have no embarrassment, so I'll lead and you can join. How about that?
Okay.
Zoran je moj idol. Zoran pije alkohol. Pije ga Zoki, pije ga Ajk. Pije ga cela ISDA.
Bože.
You didn't follow.
Because I don't know.
I was
confused.
You would need to like mute yourselves on both ends and basically sing blind, and me count you in to account for the delay. But it's fine.
We can record something for next season together.
Yeah. That's what we should have done. We should have had the forethought beforehand. That's what we should have done.
Yeah.
But Zoran, that was a big gap between yourself and the leaders. It's the first time this season that we've really seen you take it easy.
Yeah. Basically, I drove like let's say 90% of my speed, of my pace in the end. It was fine at the beginning. I tried to safely overtake the guys in front, but after I got first track cut, I got a little bit scared, to be honest. So I took it easy. But after the pits, I realized that I only have one track limit. So I tried to catch Tadic in front, and it took me like I don't know, 10 minutes probably. So I ran out of laps, so that's my fault in the end. But basically, yeah, I drove it what I need for this championship, and that's it in the end. Yeah, I had a little bit more pace, but again, not quick as Kevin in front.
Well, it's the thing is that, as I said to you last time, I'm sure it was last week, consistency is what's won you this championship.
Yeah.
It's not the wins. It's the fact that you've been relentless with those second places. Had Kevin has started at Indianapolis and the Nürburgring, this would be a very different conversation, obviously.
Yes.
But he didn't. And it's not a DNF, it's a did not start. He wasn't able to be here.
Yeah. He's working 3 shifts, and every third race he's unable to race,
Yeah.
so that's it.
Yeah, exactly. So it was his real life that got in the way, but a technicality is a technicality, and championships have been won on technicalities before, and this year, in this season, Zoran Jonic, you are the ISDA champion.
Thank you. But
sorry, go on.
You know something? Basically, this is the first race I kind of calculated on driving safe, taking it easy, because in practice, when we were doing laps, I was in 3rd place behind Carlo. So in quali, I wanted to take the 3rd place and see what's going to happen in the end. First time I calculated, it went totally wrong. I needed like 1/10 in my lap time to be 3rd position in qualification. So it reminded me like a Formula 1 race, like the Abu Dhabi and stuff, which happens the last race for championship.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
no calculations anymore for me.
No, just drive as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Keep, as my karting coach once said, all you do is you keep overtaking cars until there's no more cars to overtake.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. I used that once. It was terrifying. It really was, because I was trying to overtake lap down cars like they were my competitors. It was poor advice. So there is an amount of calculation that goes into it, but nonetheless,
it is probably good advice, but poor execution in the end.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I tried a bit too hard. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. But Mr. Zoran, is there anything that you want to say to close out the season for yourself?
Yeah, I would like to thank you guys for this great league. I'm kind of amazed how much effort you guys take into this, considering that you have a live stewards, that you have a live like safety car driver, which is sitting in the pits for the whole race, basically for this season. It wasn't out, but he's still there. So to you for your commentary, for basically for everything, for the servers, for immersion, for I don't know what to say. And also I want to send big thanks to my guys on the stream, to my support there. It is really huge, and huge thanks to them.
I was going to say,
that's it.
I've got to say, your guys have been both the bane of my existence and the very best of people to be watching live. There's been a hell of a lot of spam, but there have been some of the most cogent and salient points made in any broadcast that I can remember. So yeah, props to your guys as well, because they have absolutely kept us on our toes and made sure that we're looking at the right things and doing maths for us and all sorts. It's another one of those things where we just absolutely, it's great to do this live. It's great to do. I don't understand people who don't want to interact with the people watching. it doesn't make sense because they can give you so much more information than you could possibly absorb yourself.
Yes, I can totally agree on that. Why I usually, I always rewatch the stream and live chat, so it's always great to have someone talking with you, commentating, asking stuff. And only thing I wish you for the next season I was talking with Bacho privately. I wish that this league grows up like season by season because it really deserves. I haven't seen this much effort into the racing like this one, so it deserves like full field. It deserves like 2 championships in same race. So for next seasons, I hope it's gonna only grow up and be better.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I totally agree. The amount of watching the work that goes on in the background and sitting down and talking with the race direction and that sort of thing and understanding just how much that these guys really care about everything it is. I mean, I can include myself in that as well. These guys are the best. They really are.
I agree.
And it has been an absolute pleasure being associated with them for so long. It makes sense, basically. I think everybody here is committed to, as you say, to the immersion. Everyone here is committed to punishing those drivers that would treat it like a game and rewarding the drivers that try to make it as realistic as possible.
Yeah, that's the huge thing. So
it's lovely hearing it come from the champion. And are you going to be coming back in 2023?
probably I will take a break for now. I need to set up some new equipment soon, and after that I will do some races and I don't know when is next season is starting. Probably after New Year.
I will ask the one of the directors.
Yeah, here in the chat. So yeah, we'll have a filler season before the Christmas, before the New Year, and then a full-time GT3 season somewhere mid-January, end of January, something like that. So
I'll be there.
Like to, yeah, I would love to see you. I would love to continue. Even though we're not fighting, I love the content that you're creating, both for our channel and on your channel as well.
Yeah. One video is coming probably tomorrow, like a little bit recap of this season. So
Awesome.
I'm gonna make
Awesome. So next season you're going to take the Nissan GTR, right?
Next season I will try to drive something different because I'm driving NSX for 2 seasons, but my guys they want me to drive Honda, so I don't know how to negotiate with them. Probably I need to give some alcohol or something, so I can pick something else. I'm maybe gonna take Aston or something else, I'm not sure. Aston or AMG. We're gonna see how it goes.
I'm sure the Pirate Racing livery will suit the AMG or the Aston Martin down to the ground.
Yeah,
Zoran,
it will.
Have a lovely rest of your evening, and we'll speak to you next year.
Yeah. Good luck and thank you for everything.
Cheers, man. Thank you. And I don't know if hang on. Last into the combox, we are going to drag our wonderful and frankly terribly responsible crew. Let's say race direction team. Were you all wanting to say something on stream, or are you just waiting to come and say hi to us? Or are they even there?
We're always coming to say hi to you, Ike, but I think I don't speak on everybody else, but it was an excellent race. Everything that happened. And the season was full of exciting moments and moments where sometimes I just want to put my race director cap down because you guys give me too much work.
That sounds right. But yeah, it's really uncharacteristic for ISDA race tonight, I think it's fair to say. Difficult start with the reduced numbers. Difficult middle of the race. At what point did at what point did you think that there might be something wrong as far as the servers are concerned?
Well,
When we lost half our team. Sorry, Andre.
yeah, it was at the point where one of our team actually got disconnected.
Right.
Two of our team actually. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead, Dane. You want to say?
No, I already said my say.
So it's. I take it the decision is that this result will stand.
We will have a talk. We
Right.
were actually, we were talking about it as well, but we have to talk about it more, I think.
That sounds about right. Yeah, it's good to get your raw. Obviously, everything that we say here is going to be not off the record, but it is. These are raw emotions and raw thoughts and feelings at the moment. I think it's fair to say. If don't take any of this. If you are one of the drivers in chat, please don't take this as written. These are the reactions of our team.
Yes, exactly.
But Alex, another relatively boring race for yourself, other than getting kicked out the server.
Well, not really. It's been again a pretty calm race, I would say. Few incidents, but nothing major. And well, it was interesting. Yeah, I got. Actually, I was thinking about it would be a little bit of a shame if that would happen when safety cars deployed. But well, we actually race in a virtual world, and these things can happen. But yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, just a little bit. But thankfully, we didn't need you. And as normal, the ISDA drivers did everything that they needed to, everything that they should, and were very sensible with their estimations. I think there was only one real incident that was vaguely really questionable, and as per usual, it was dealt with appropriately. So I think that's all fair and love and war. End of the season recap, gents. We'll run down the list as we've got you all in here anyway. So Alex, how has this season gone for you?
Well, I mean, actually, I got a little bit surprised with well, I guess it's not. I'm not gonna sum up about the season in general just on the ISDA League, but I must admit that I got a little bit surprised with the patch with the Hondas. They got pretty much powered up, and I got surprised that not seeing Porsches on the top of the qualifying or race sheet. I won't say that it was something strange as not seeing many incidents. I don't remember if we call any safety car. Well, on Nürburgring was really close. Actually, it was a fun race to see the weather put on, being on the limit of what was raceable or not so raceable. But I would say it was a pretty fun season overall, and I hope it was for the drivers involved as well.
Absolutely. And next in the list is a different perspective, Malibacho.
Hello again.
from a driver's perspective, just from putting your crew hat on for just a second, but also with a perspective from the car. How has this season been for yourself?
Yeah, this was the point of me driving the whole season, and I have to say that well, we started working, I think, 2.5 years ago. It took us some half a year to set everything up, to sort things out, and to have our first race. To finally see this on track, the whole process, I must say I'm proud of what we achieved, and it would not be able without the relentless support we get from the crew guys here, all of them apart from Nix in the combox right now. So also this love goes to Nix as well, and yeah. It looked pretty good on track. I have my feedback on even how to push things further to improve them to create an even better racing experience. But I think the racing the whole season was so feisty, but so respectful from all of the drivers. So even though it was not a huge grid, I feel that the fights were really top level. So I must say, an extreme sense of pride after this season from my side, and an extreme motivation to continue.
Good. That's great to hear. Dane, from yourself?
It has been one of the most eventful seasons in ISDA. A good showdown, a good finale for a certain Ferrari driver. I have to admit, I was actually glued to the screen watching the race tonight instead of worrying about incidents, which thankfully there were none. But overall, I think where we started and where we are now, I can only take my hat off to everyone that's been here since the beginning.
Lovely. And Andre, to round us out, I think we have some time. So as had this season from start to finish, we've heard your voice a few times during the races, but how do you think this season has gone for you?
Well, this season is allowed me to gain a lot of experience from the race director point of view. I was kind of worried that I would not be able to do it consistently and that I will make mistakes, which I did, but the mistakes are there for to learn from them. So definitely I gained a lot of experience from this, and actually it gives me comfort to know that even if I am not able to do it, we have more than capable people to just hop in and be able to pull the race together and so on. There are two occasions where I couldn't actually participate in the race, and in both occasions there was more than adequate replacement for me. So I'm really happy with that as well.
No, that's fantastic to hear. That is the majority of the team that you've been able to hear from, thankfully. Unfortunately, Nix is not around to give his perspectives, but with all of that said and with all of that done, we've crowned a champion. We've had a race. We've had an entire season. And the next one will surely be even bigger and even better and even more refined than this par excellence has been. My name's Binoc Sky. You've been watching the International Sim Drivers Association GT3 World Challenge Autumn Season for 2022, and we will see you next time. A very good evening to you all.